Good morning, it's Mike Rizzo, January 15th, 2024. I got a couple of knives to show you. A local knife maker called Duren Knives, D-U-R-E-N. I'll put his information up close here so you can see it. He made me a kitchen knife. 1095 high carbon steel. Made this nice display box. Although I'm not going to use it because I'm going to use the knife. Like I said, 1095 high carbon steel. It's got a beautiful wooden handle, nice and smooth, comfortable in the hand. Looks like it's going to be good for chopping. Very professionally made. It's got a nice sharp edge. Very sharp. Let's actually test the edge. See how sharp it is. We're going to test it. Yeah. What's wrong with that? So that's pretty razor sharp. I have not used it yet. I've been waiting to do this video before I use it. I think the first thing I'm going to do is go up there and cut a couple of tomatoes and probably a couple of steaks, cut them up. Anyway, that's Duren Knives. He's the one that made it, D-U-R-E-N, Duren Knives. So I want to bring this up close so you can see it. Make sure you can see it here. Duren Knives. All right. There's another friend of mine, a really close friend of mine. I've been friends with the years. I wanted a sheath in case I want to go camping with this kitchen knife. Do a lot of cooking camping right on the tailgate. So this is not the first one that Harris has made me. His name's Harris Danfourth. And he does a fantastic job on his knife sheaths. So this is one he made me for this kitchen knife, and it fits perfectly in it. It's a beautiful sheath for that kitchen knife. Beautifully done, all sewed up, and it's got the handle here. Slides right out. It's a nice sheath. So that's Harris Danfourth. He is not a business, he's just a close friend. But if you want his information, I'll probably give it to you. So yeah, that's the knife from Duren Knives. So we'll set that aside a little bit. And so, since I was so happy with the knife that Ryan made me, I asked him to repair a knife. Wow, the sheath is tight. Repair a knife. I bought this knife at a gun show. I think it's made from a piece of spring steel. It didn't have a handle, it had just two little pieces of leather, and I could not get the blade right. So I asked Ryan at Duren Knives if he could put a handle on it and fix the blade for me. And he also, both knives have a 90-degree spine so I can strike a ferro rod if I want. But he fixed this knife, he reshaped it a little bit. He gave it a nice grind and a really nice edge, and he put a beautiful handle on that. Look at that knife. That was just a knife I bought for 20 bucks at a gun show, and he repaired it for me. Did a fantastic. All right, let's see if this knife can cut paper. Should be razor sharp. Not bad. That is pretty awesome. That's a really thick blade. Probably the next thing I do with this blade is to dress a deer out. Very nice knife. Anyway, so the knife is beautiful, ready to go, and I asked Harris Danfourth if he'd make me a sheath for it. I didn't want a sheath that clips in though. I wanted one that just snapped in and come out. And this is what he got. It's nice and light, it's heavy duty, and it fits the belly of this knife perfect. It snaps in and stays right in. You can pull it out. Beautiful sheath. Beautiful sheath. He does great work, and one of his icons is the copper rivets. Fantastic job. Thank you to both men. They do fantastic work. It's my Kimber 45 ACP with a red dot, in case anybody's wondering. That's all it is. Anyway, Catch them on the run. Mike Rizzo, thanks. So one thing I wanted to add on with these two knives is they're both some kind of dip etched. I actually didn't get into it with Ryan very deep, but they're etched. This one is 1095 steel and it won't rust, or it helps not to rust. So he etched this one because that's part of how he does things. And this one here, I never even asked him to etch. He cleaned all the rust out of these pits. These are all rust pits from it being a spring. He cleaned all that up and he etched it so it doesn't rust, or it won't rust, or it's resistant, highly resistant to rust. So I want to add that in too. He did etch them, dip them. I'm not exactly sure what he does, but the finish is fantastic.